This is the fourth Final Destination movie, but they didn't title this one Final Destination 4. Instead, it's The Final Destination, because fuck you. This was made and marketed as a 3D movie. And as far as 3D horror movies go, Final Destination kinda makes sense. It's short, it's light on plot, and the movies entail things being flung at people's faces at very high speeds. So right away, we're going to notice that the tone of this movie is very different. The other movies do a decent job of building up the anticipation, but this one skips all that junk, and it throws you straight into the carnage, after spending just a couple minutes getting to know our characters. And it's probably for the best, because every single character here is completely unlikable. Not that these movies are known for their rich and lovable characters, but we've got a cowboy, a racist, a mechanic, a MILF. And I'm not just being reductive, that's literally how most of these guys are credited. This racetrack disaster sequence is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It's so cheap and cartoonish. It's impossible not to laugh. This is hot garbage. So this time around, our main character gets 3D visions of how people are about to die. It's not nearly as unsettling or creative as they did in the other movies, but you can't say they aren't delivering on the gimmick. This movie takes every single opportunity to make something pop out of the screen. There's always something in your face. On one hand, it made the movie age pretty poorly, and it feels like the artistry of filmmaking is kind of lost here. But on the other hand, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, due to the silliness and the fun factor of this movie, the tone is extremely light. The first one to die is the racist guy, which is weirdly comedic. It's actually borderline slapstick, with ironic music and silly sound effects, and an explosive finale. And you might be having fun, but it still feels like a cheap, lazy approach at a Final Destination movie. But don't worry, this movie isn't completely incompetent. The first really good scene is at the hair salon. There's a million things that can go wrong, and you'll be cringing the entire time you're watching. A lot of this is due to the close-ups and the sound effects. The anticipation is great. It's actually hard to watch. It actually feels like Final Destination. What's funny though is that it completely subverts your expectations. The domino effect happens, and in the end, everyone is totally fine. Nobody got hurt. Then as they're leaving, the mom turns to her kids and says, "I have my eye on you." And then the lawnmower outside hits a rock, which then shoots through her eyeball. Honestly, I wouldn't change a thing. Our main character and his girlfriend try to convince their friends that these visions are real, and that they are in danger, but they don't believe them. No big deal, they're not next to die anyway. So they find the security guard from the track, and these three team up. They deduce that the mechanic is the next to go. They try to save him, but, well, you know how it goes. They don't. Now, here's another pretty decent segment. The next two victims are going to be one of their two friends. Turns out they're both going to die at the same time. So we're going to have splitting action here between the two. The vision suggests that it's something to do with water, which is unfortunate because both friends are currently surrounded by water. We have a bunch of back and forth, and ultimately, the guy gets stuck on the drain at the bottom of the pool, and as the pressure builds up, it's gonna suck his insides out of his butthole. Classy. Meanwhile, the girl is in the car wash from hell, and I like this set piece a lot. Right when it seems like she's just about to die, or at the very least, get a face scrub, She gets saved by the other girl and the security guard, who literally just crashed through the car wash and ram her car backwards. They had no idea what was happening. They just as well could have caused her death. It's just nonsense, but regardless, she's saved. This means the security guard is next, but he has a dark past and he's ready to face the light. He's accepted it. He keeps trying to kill himself, but his attempts keep failing. And so they all come to the conclusion that Death's plan is broken. And I don't know. They're all gonna live happily ever after now? These guys are way more optimistic than me. But the reason he couldn't die yet isn't because Death's plan is over, it's because it wasn't actually his turn. The cowboy from the vision is actually still alive. He's in the hospital. So while the girls take a trip to the mall to see a movie, the security guard and the main character rush to the hospital to save the cowboy. God, I should have written down people's names. Then again, it doesn't matter because everyone's gonna die rapid fire now. Cowboy dies, then while the security guard is talking about deja vu, he gets hit by a bus. And now we have a vision that the girlfriend will die by an explosion in the 3D movie. I'd like to take a moment to applaud this 3D horror movie for having a segment in a 3D movie. It's all very meta. But that's just the start of it, because the movie doesn't just blow up. The whole mall starts exploding. People are dying everywhere. And the girlfriend gets eaten by an escalator. But hold up. That was all just a vision. And now it's time for round 2. The security guard gets hit by a bus while talking about deja vu. Main character then rushes to the theater, but new plan. He's going to try to prevent the catastrophe. And although things get a bit hairy, he saves the day. It's over. They can rest easy. For 2 weeks, then they all die. The Final Destination is hands down the worst one. The biggest fault is that it just isn't very thrilling, but it knows exactly what it is. It doubles down on the comedy. It knows it's dumb and it just rolls with it. I still enjoy myself, but this one specifically feels like a guilty pleasure. It's almost worth watching just for the special features, which shows the early planning stages for the movie. And it's almost better than the movie itself. I don't know how I ended up at a point in my life where I'm watching special features to Final Destination 4, but here we are. And now we have one Final Destination to watch before Bloodlines. So stay tuned and thanks for watching.